Hello fellow humans and welcome to this week's shop review. Starting off with the tanks, and the Valentine 2 can be sold for 1,500 gold, so this bundle is sort of okay if you need the premium time and the boosters. Unfortunately though, these times 5s, they're locked to the vehicle, which makes them useless entirely. So, not really the best of bundles. If these times 5s would be unlocked, then I would be like, sure, go for it, sell the Valentine, but you're just buying wasted stuff here, and the same is true for something like the Concept 1B, because you're spending 60 euros to get a camouflage, when you can just simply spend 75,000 credits and get a camouflage that does the exact same thing. So the only value these special camouflages do have is that you think they're special. You also have a animated avatar, and that is about looks like me whenever I see crates, so at least it's somewhat realistic. And these times 5s are locked to the Concept 1Bs, so again, not that great. You also get an order with it though, but 60 euros is insane for a vehicle of this that doesn't really include much value besides the tank, because the only thing that is mystery about mystery boxes is which level of ripped off you will get. You're gonna get ripped off, you just don't know yet how much. So then they have the Fury. If you want to play the Fury, if you want this vehicle for, I don't know, collector's sake or whatever, this is a pretty good bundle because 30 days of premium and all the boosters in here are very good. The times 5, unfortunately, again, are locked to the vehicle. Now, overall, it's a good bundle in terms of the value perspective. Only though, if you actually want the Fury, because other than that, 8 euros for the other things, really a bit questionable. Ignore this minus 83%. That's all just made up. So, essentially, if you want the Fury, get it. It's a good bundle. If you don't care about the Fury, don't get it. And the KPZ 50, it's 18 euros cheaper than the Concept 1B and looks like a lot better deal because, I mean, it also includes a camouflage that again adds no more value than a 75,000 credit camouflage, so that's how much it's worth to me. And the electric shock avatar, which has a value of exactly 0 because you can't sell it, you can't trade it. The only thing is you can look at it. I mean, you can only look at it in the garage and if you open the special screen in game, so avatar is about the much useless thing that Blitz has ever put into the game. Times 5s, again, locked to the vehicle, makes them a lot less useful because either you will have to convert all that free XP, all that elite XP into free XP with even more gold, or the only bonus you have then is obviously you also get an increased amount of free XP in those 30 battles, but obviously there is a lot of elite XP that then just goes to complete waste, so they're a lot worse than unlocked times 5s because you can use them on any tank you want, and you can, for example, grind new tech trees, whereas here you have a little bit more free XP. Now, speaking of a little bit, shit is the elusive scouts, or should I say the elusive shits, because that's what they are. Stay away from them. I've also talked about the KPZ 50 a bit more in detail in last week's shop review, so if you want to know more about this vehicle, check that out. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. Then we have the Jagdtiger. There's a lot of tank destroyers in this shop this week, so start off with this one. It's a very good vehicle for what it is. It's not that really mobile, and the armor's on the superstructure pretty good. The hull can be penned by pretty much most tier 8, so not really that amazing. More of a campy tank destroyer with 3.5k DPM. If you know how to deal with this type of vehicle, it is a great pickup. The price is very solid as well. However, there is one thing that is missing from this kind of bundle, and that is 500,000 creds, because normally these kind of bundles always included 500,000 creds. Instead, what you get is a useless camouflage. But the boosters, premium time, times 5s again are unfortunately locked. I don't know, bundle still good if you are into tank destroyers. Then we have the large caliber duo, which also includes the Scorpion G, which is a lot more mobile than the Jagdtiger, but obviously has no armor whatsoever. I prefer playing this one obviously because it's more versatile. It also has a turret, so it plays a bit more like a big fat non-armored medium tank, but overall it is a good-ish vehicle. The KPZ 70, however, it's mid at best, so not really worth it in that case. And also, in a lot of cases, the SU-130 PM is sold cheaper than the Scorpion G, and the performance level of those vehicles is basically the same. Again, locked times 5s, pointless camouflages, and useless mystery boxes as extras to justify the price. And then we move on to the tank hunters as well, which are two tank destroyers. One that is just the WZ-120 GFT, whatever that thing is called. That one, but worse, so not worth it at all. And then we have the G-Soul, which says it's a tank destroyer, It's more of a medium tank. It's like the British man's Barask because it's slow and also doesn't have any armor, but it does at least have Hesh. So that's what you're going for. I mean, I guess sort of if you really like tank destroyers, then it can be a worthy pickup. But for 10k alone, that is insane. Let's say if the GSO would be 6.5k, that would be a great deal. But now the Canoniac Panzer for 6.5k is a bad deal, and the GSO for 10k is a bad deal. But if the GSO will be 6.5, I would highly recommend it. But now it's not good. Just like camos. I mean, would you really spend 2.5k on something you get for 75k? And it looks, and this is the view you have, by the way, of these camouflages. This is not the view you have. This is the view you have in every battle. You see nothing. To continue my old man rant with now credits. Don't trade credits in the shop. This is not really that great. I mean, it sort of makes sense in terms of the boosters and the premium time. Obviously, 5 million credits is enough to pretty much buy a tier 10. In most cases, credits are a pretty bad deal sold in the shop. So are these bad deals as well, because even though you get 100 unlocked times 5, it's like, hey, don't you say that unlocked times 5 is great? Yes, but here's the problem. Would you rather want 100 unlocked times 5 or double the gold, which you can get down here, 75k instead of 37.5? That is pretty much a better deal in that regard, and you also get whatever that is. And then it's a better deal than the 100 times 5s here. So I don't think anyone's going to buy this anyway, because you can do a lot with 110 euros. That isn't World of Tanks Blitz Gold. And then, as always, open your free crates, because you get cool stuff. They're free. That's amazing. Get them. However, then, with all the paid containers, the only thing that's going to happen is they're going to get ripped off. Don't buy these containers under any way, shape, or form. Especially something like a mega container or a containers collection. Because here's the thing. You're not going to get a tank. And if you do get a tank, it's a tank you don't want. Pretty much all the time. And it's the same with all these kind of collections. Let's say you like tank destroyers, you're going to end up with this pile of shit. So, speaking of pile of shit, it's also in the shop for like 150 euros or whatever. And it's a worse RU-251. This is unacceptable in terms of pricing. This is a thing that you throw into the shop for 5k and hope that someone's dumb enough to buy it. Not throw it in 150 euros worth of crates. So, I mean, even the KPZ, the Canoniac Panzer here, 6.5k. Even 6.5k is an insult for the HWK-30. It's an insult. And there is also a current resource draw. Same goes with any draw. I recommend playing the first two because they're still somewhat cheap and then stopping at the third. Obviously, this price doesn't really go up anywhere, but the prices in here are pretty bad. I mean, you could end up with splinters. I mean, this is the most worthless currency to ever exist since spare parts. In other news, there really isn't any, except for the Oktoberfest quest, where you can choose whether you want boosters and a worthless camo, or you want boosters credits and a worthless camo. I would personally choose the gold boosters and the free XP boosters.